As we make some progress in getting on top of our inflationary problem, at least we have stopped the acceleration of the inflation, and with some evidence that it may be decelerating somewhat, the rate of inflation. This ought to be helpful. At the same time, I would want to say that the demands for money in the financial markets, in the capital markets, are still very heavy.
Well, of course they are. When a banker in New York goes out on his front doorsteps on June the 9th, 1969, and says hereafter the prime rate will be 8.5% instead of 7.5% now. And all over America, the big banks all follow immediately and give out statements that, yes, we need it. We'll charge 8.5%. Now, that was tantamount to placing a burden of an additional $15 billion on all the 55 million families in the United States every year hereafter. And you can document that. You don't have to take my word for it. The total private and public debt at that time was $1,500 billion plus. 1% of that, which was this automatically raised, means $15 billion a year. Nobody can dispute that. It's much more than that now because the debts, public and private, have gone up. But it's just that simple. Now, whenever you place that burden of several $100s more on every family in America, from now on, that's hurting this country.
You see, when I say that there are some encouraging features in the price scene, obviously I don't mean by that it looks as if now we got it made or something like that. I'm not saying this. This is far too high a rate of inflation. Any reasonable person would say that. And so we've still got a lot of unfinished business here. On the other hand, we do have to be careful about getting into a sort of a frame of mind where we are determined to see nothing except the adverse aspects of this.
Well, we should measure this country's happiness and prosperity by the happiness and prosperity of the people who produce the nation's wealth, and keep in consideration the families who bear the burdens, both in time of war and in time of peace. If we keep that in mind, we'll have a better country. Now, we can't continue to pay these high interest rates like that.
I expect to see the rate of price inflation significantly lower by the end of the year than what we saw at the beginning of the year.
I'm quite sure that there will be legislation introduced to provide for a constitutional amendment for 18-year-olds to be able to vote in Texas. I think it's important to remember, however, that before 18-year-olds could vote in Texas, not only would the legislature have to pass this constitutional amendment, but this amendment would have to be approved by the majority of the voters of Texas before 18-year-olds could vote in Texas.
No, I've been toned down, baby. Like Panthers, their headquarters is my church. I'm the only congressman been to see the assassination scene of Fred Hampton twice in Chicago. The toning down has been done by the media, not by me, baby.
Well,
and not by my black people either.
We used to hear a lot from you.
Yeah, because the media has done a beautiful job, darling. And Daddy doesn't give a damn about the media either, because I got 500,000 blacks and Puerto Ricans in my district who carry on, baby, right on. Those are the people I care about.
The media won't listen to you?
No, they just kill the stories. It's not your fault. You all were slaves on the media plantation. You know that. Anything you film is right today. And the boss man's waiting back there at the big White House to cut out everything you say.
Well, are you saying the media's ignoring you in Washington?
No, the media, my friends, Roger Mudd, all of them, they were all my Boone White coons.
You say you end up on the cutting room floor?
Oh, yeah. That's what I mean.
Well, the majority of the members of the Commissioners Court have called a special meeting for 9 o'clock This meeting is called to ask the governor to release funds for the OEO program here in Dallas County.
Obviously, you feel that these funds should be released. Why?
I feel like that they should be released. I never have been for stopping the funds in the first place. I feel like it has now become an emergency, and this is a reason why we're asking for this special meeting. We have daycare centers for children, transportation for sick children to clinics and hospitals, and the distribution of food to these centers in South Dallas and West Dallas and throughout the county, Segerville and Lancaster. And we feel like that it is an emergency. This is the reason why we're calling a meeting.
I think this idea has got a great deal of merit when we recognize today that over 50% of the felonies that are being committed in Texas are being committed by a person who has committed a felon that's out on bond. I think this is one of the reasons why we have such a tremendous increase in our rate in crime in 1969 and 1970, because the people that are out on bond have so little respect for our judicial system. They recognize it's going to be slow, and cumbersome, that if they can make bond, they can go right back out on the streets to commit other crimes of violence. And I think this proposal has a great deal of merit.
Now, on the same line of thinking and changing of some of our laws, several states have passed abortion laws recently. Do you feel that this is going to be one of the things that will come up in the new legislature?
Last session of the legislature, there was a bill introduced to not legalize abortion in Texas, but to remove some of the restrictions that prohibit abortions. I feel that during the next session of the legislature, in all likelihood, there will be consideration given to Texas passing some form of a bill such as those that passed other states. So whether it would have a very good chance to pass, I really don't know. We have several different committees of interested citizens who are already doing a great deal of work here in Texas, hopefully to convince the legislature we do need to change our abortion laws.
Nancy, in your years in Washington with the Johnson administration, did you ever hear the president say that he thought perhaps there might have been a conspiracy involved in the assassination?
Well, no, I don't. First of all, I never heard the president discuss Lee Harvey Oswald. But if he does have some reservations, as you suggested earlier, about the Warren Commission report, he's not alone in that, because many people have. Senator Richard Russell from Georgia, the eminent senator from the South, has always had some reservations about whether or not there was a conspiracy. And in fact, I have heard nothing authoritative that I could actually quote here on the air, that even members of the Kennedy family have reservations about the findings of the Warren Commission.
Art, yes, that is a forecast I made many years ago, that I have a feeling it will expand into Cambodia, which is not good. However, I feel too, I'm going to add this, because I like to give a little bit of hope. I feel as though we'll be allies with the U.S.S.R. in 5 years, a little short or a little more than 5 years, and then, of course, these situations will be taken care of. But in the meantime, we will have many battlefronts.
Jeane, in regards to the administration, do you foresee any changes in the administration and high-level officials?
Yes, I do, and that will be my June forecast, so the newspaper that carries my column here in Fort Worth will give you the story.
Excellent. As far as the national personages that you have come in contact with, do you feel that there will be another assassination or another violent death anytime in the near future?
I feel as though there will be an attempt, yes, before the year is over. But I do not believe that anyone in our government, that is, say, like our president, will be assassinated.